I would like to be traded to any other team but the New England Patriots.
Big brain predictions. That's what I got.
Take it off, sir.
This Washington football team beat the Steelers.
All right.
And that person.
EDP.
Yes, but if we lose this game, I firmly believe we do not need to make playoffs. So
Don't you ever disrespect.
What is going on, folks, and welcome back to After Further Review. This is episode number 32. I am your Brown co-host, Jalen Brown.
I am your other wonderful Brown co-host, Shaquille Brown.
Shaq, how have you been? How has your week been? How's life been treating you since the draft last Thursday?
Life has been okay. Got myself into a new but at the same time old predicament, so life has been good.
Entangled now.
Tangled. Ain't talking about Disney, but
Is there are there any more details you'd like to give, or is that as vague as you keep it? This is becoming the show within the show.
Exactly. The low hints, but at the same time not really low hints. I'm just trying to avoid adding another Brown to the collections of Browns that's already in existence.
Yes, folks, we want to welcome you all back into the saga known as Shaq's life.
I feel like that could be a whole other podcast in and of itself. Unfortunately, we could do a whole new weekly episode, and it's to be something completely different every week to week.
Right. Yeah, it very well could be. Yeah, folks, we want to welcome you right back in here for another great week. Last week we had our draft extravaganza. It was our watch along where you guys came out and watched with us. Shout out to everybody that came on Thursday night and watched. Mel, Eggy came in for a second. Jaden was there bright and early. Jimmy came through at one point. Shout out to all you guys. Sorry for forgetting everybody. There's just so many people coming in and out. You just get lost sometimes. But yeah, thanks for the folks that came out and watched. We had a great time. It was long. Shout out to if anybody stayed for the entire thing, real one right there.
Yeah, it was long for us. I mean, granted, we had some alcohol involved in that process.
Yes. If you did not watch, we were taking a shot for every draft pick that was traded. So almost halfway through, we were about 3 shots deep. And luckily, after that, the trades calmed down because we were getting into a little bit of a pickle there. So glad that is where it began and stopped. It was right around that like 10 through 15 mark-ish. But anyway, yeah, that was a very long show. That was a 4-hour stream, which was a record for us, and it will stay that way because we will not be doing any more 4-hour streams. Hate to break it to you.
If the show is still in existence come next draft, that'll be probably the next weekend. So
right, that is the next 4-hour stream you'd ever get this time next year. But anyway, yeah, for those who don't know, we record the show every Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on YouTube. So if you want to watch the show live, this is the video version. Just subscribe to Melheim's Media on YouTube, and then you can watch all of the other Melheim's Media podcasts here. But our show is every Wednesday evening at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're going to get right into the first topic of the day here. And that is, of course, the Los Angeles Lakers in a little bit of trouble. It seems like we haven't, since last week, obviously, we didn't talk about any basketball because of the draft. It seems like it's been forever, just since it's been 2 weeks now. I did pick them as my... I don't remember the exact topic. It was like hottest team at the time. That was 2 weeks ago, and now
this show has a great thing of talking opposite to existence.
Correct.
If anything, you probably shouldn't recommend any teams to us because we still talk right out.
Yeah, that's how it goes, folks. Sorry, but
this show is the Thanos snap for me.
for your favorite team. Yeah. So I think at the time, last time we mentioned them, I don't think Bron was not back. AD, I don't think he was back either. But now they are both kind of back. Anthony Davis is back. LeBron came back for that maybe 2 games, and then he got not re-injured, but he was just not ready to come back yet. So he's going to be sitting out for a little while longer. We'll see how long that is. But yeah, he's said it himself. His ankle is not at 100%. He's not sure if it'll ever be back to 100%. I don't know if he means like ever as in this year or overall ever. But right now they're in the 6th seed. They're only a game ahead of the 7th seed. Portland is right behind them by just 1 game. Shaq, are the Lakers in deep trouble? Like, where are you on the?
I think they are very much in deep trouble. I think, like we discussed, LeBron needs to be a facilitator. He cannot carry the weight during the regular season. He needs AD to be completely there, completely 100%, and he's just getting too. I hate to say this, but too old to be sitting there carrying a team on his back. He needs to just work around AD. So if AD ain't working, he ain't working.
Yeah.
So I see them definitely in a tough spot right now. And if they're struggling right now, I'd hate to see them on a long playoff drive. Who's to say that ankle gets better all of a sudden starts acting up on a long?
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. They are in some serious trouble right now. The fact that they're only just that 1 game ahead of Portland, and the reason why that's so important is because that 7th seed, you really want to stay out of that, because that's 7 through 10 seed is the play-in tournament, which is like that little window between end of the regular season and start of the playoffs. So the 7 through 10 seeds will have that like 1 game apiece tournament to see who makes the 7 and 8 seeds and who qualifies for the playoffs. So the Lakers obviously want to stay out of that area right now, but not looking too hot. They've got the Clippers tomorrow night. Then they have the Trailblazers, who they are in direct competition with. And they got Phoenix, New York, Houston, Indiana, and then their last game is against New Orleans. So about 4 of those games are very, very tough to finish out your season with. Yeah, and I think they'd beat the last 3. So I'm thinking they go 4-3 here in the last 7 games of the regular season. I'm thinking that they'll lose to the Clippers tomorrow night. I think that they will beat Portland, lose to Phoenix somehow. I hate to say it, but they're going to lose to the Knicks. Knicks are just crazy good right now. And then they'll beat Houston, Indiana, and New Orleans. But yeah, I think they'll be in the play-in tournament. I don't think they'll get knocked out completely, but they will be somehow, some way. If it's not the 7th seed, the 8th seed, they'll be in the play-in tournament.
Yes, I definitely see them making a struggle for themselves, and LeBron's got to work for this. God bless them. They get knocked out. All these LeBron haters, they got something to say, and they have a field day with this.
To me, it's like I'm not like he's hurt. Like, you can't really say anything about it. Like, the man's hurt. It is what it is, and he's never really been seriously injured. So
yeah, he's older. He's suffering through an injury. It's gonna take him a lot of effort and work and everything to get through it. And unfortunately, he's way beyond the point of being able to carry a team and do all this by himself. So
right,
it's not like back in beginning of Cleveland where he could just put the whole team on his back and just play it through. You just can't do that anymore. It's a much more competitive league, even from 5 years ago. Yeah,
much more athletic league.
Yes,
and yeah, a lot of it is like AD has to step up. Andre Drummond, they just picked him up. He has to step up. I mean, geez, he had a game. I think their last game against Denver where he had like some obscene amount of like 2 rebounds or something like that. Like, you cannot. That is your only job that they brought you in, was to rebound the ball. Like, you've got to play big. But yeah, Anthony Davis to me is the catalyst. Like, he has to put the team on his back, because once LeBron retires, the new face of the franchise is gonna be him. So, why not start now? And as far as just taking over, so yeah, we'll see. But I guess both of us do agree that they will find themselves in that 7 to 10 window.
Yes, for sure.
I don't think they'll fall out. Like, I think they'll stay within the 8 seed. I don't think they'll drop any lower than that. But we'll see, because it is a little bit of a drop off after the 7 seed. Right now, it's just them and Portland are like neck and neck. And I think Portland right now has a lot more momentum than the Lakers do. So we shall see with them. Lakers fans, cross your fingers, cross your toes, say your prayers. Whatever you got, whatever good luck charms you got, you better bring them out now. Before we get to our second topic of the day, I want to mention our sponsor. We got at Pure Leaf Creations. If you are looking for handmade jewelry, look no further. This is a little Instagram promo video on the screen right now for all of our audio listeners. At Pure Leaf Creations is my wife's Instagram handle. So if you want to look her up on Instagram, you can find all of the bracelets, necklaces, rings, earrings, etc. that she makes. She's got stuff already made that you can choose from on Instagram. And then she makes custom stuff. So if you want to mix and match or use your massive imagination to come up with something, you can just send her a message on Instagram and she can work with you to create something. Jewelry for everybody, small budget, big budget, especially if you have a big budget. At Pure Leaf Creations, hit her up right there. You want a new pair of grills, big paddock on your wrist, whatever it might be, just
She'll work in it for you.
Right.
I'm gonna put some magic. I've got a few purchases. My belt for myself, a couple females in my life. So
if you care to elaborate.
I mean, your boy makes purchases in order to finesse the whole heart.
That's the way to do it.
Exactly. Play it again.
For the audio listeners, that is PureliefCreations, Pure Leaf Creations on Instagram. Check it out. Moving into our second topic of the day, we kind of mentioned this last Thursday because this is when this kind of all happened. But Aaron Rodgers wants out of Green Bay. This was something that I feel like we all has been kind of danced around for the past year or two. But this was officially, even though it didn't come from his mouth still, but it was people around him and within the team itself. It came to light that he was I don't want to play here anymore, basically. So, yeah, Aaron Rodgers wants out of Green Bay. He does not want to play there come this fall. Shaq, what were your first thoughts on this?
I completely understand. They do not play to cater to A-Rod, unfortunately.
They don't.
Unlike Tom Brady, where as soon as Tom Brady moved to the Bucs, they make sure they brought in every single thing that meant everyone wanted AB, Gronk. They brought all the offensive weapons and catered to him. Whereas A-Rod's
can we get a wide receiver?
so we're gonna draft defense. So I'm gonna need you to.
We're gonna go ahead and get Jordan Love, your replacement. Huh?
It's all right. Thank you for the help. So I can understand the frustration of continuously having everything on you to perform really well, and then just not giving you the weapons needed to succeed. So
yeah, it's a weird one. It's a very strange situation. It reminds me a lot of the Deshaun Watson situation, where all he really was asking for was to be included in the decision making. I guess not even to the point of I want to be a part of making the decisions. Just keep me in the loop as to what's going on behind the scenes. Which again sounds kind of like the same with Aaron Rodgers, and both seem to have gotten fed up with that and them not keeping them in the loop. Except with Deshaun, they did tell him, yeah, we'll keep you in the loop, and then they just didn't and kept making stuff so that he was like, all right, I'm done, because now you've just lied to me. So, but with A-Rod, it's more like you guys are almost blatantly making decisions to not help us win. And I know Terry Bradshaw, he came out and was kind of criticized Aaron Rodgers and was basically saying stop whining, go out there and just play, and who cares if they drafted another quarterback, beat it. You're obviously better than him, just beat him out in training camp. What does it matter? I don't think it's more so that they drafted another quarterback last year. It's because obviously he's going to beat him out in any competition. It's not even a competition. I think Rodgers is probably more upset that you spent our first round draft pick on replacing me, which is fine. Okay, cool. If you want to have a plan B for 5 years down the road and I'm gone and you've got somebody coming in, cool. But why would you spend your first pick on that instead of going and getting somebody to help us win right now, like a wide receiver or a cornerback or a linebacker, like somebody that could help us right now? That's just like blatantly disrespectful. Yes. That you wouldn't go and, get somebody right now. It's like if your house is burning and somebody brings you a toothpick
or a smoke detector as your house is on fire. It's kind of like
I'd have no use for the. Why didn't you bring me a fire extinguisher?
This means nothing to me now at this point in time. Here's my thing: it's like they are very much a playoff worthy team. They're just a team that needs one last push to make it all the way there, and they're not giving them the last bit of push. It's like, yes, they're a great team, but now once they get to playoffs, they're kind of like, do we have the experience? Do we have the talent to make it? Because it's no longer just these little, sorry to hurt y'all feelings, but riffraff teams that they're playing anymore. These are not actually true competitive teams. Stop planning for the future. We need people who are ready to come into the league now, and Aaron Rodgers can pass the ball to these people. He needs to help today. Yeah. Why not in the couple years they let their A-Rod actually make a competition, and by that time A-Rod could probably get like 1 or 2 rings underneath his belt. And
and I've heard the argument of they have made the NFC Championship these past 2 years in a row, and just cannot seem to get back to the Super Bowl. The first time around they just got shellacked by San Francisco, which. I mean, that was just an indictment on their defense. I don't think it had much to do with their offense. Just the fact that Jimmy Garoppolo threw the ball 8 times and blew them out by like 40 points. That just goes to show your running defense is nowhere to be found. But then you have this year where they get to, a very close game. There's like 2 minutes left. They get down to I think they're on like the 20-yard line. And instead of going for it on 4th down, the coach decides to take the ball out of your MVP's hands and kick the field goal and then pray that Tom Brady can't convert 1 first down. Like, come on. Neither one do I really put on a little bit of blame on Aaron Rodgers, sure, but neither one do I think that he was the reason why they lost the game in either one of those situations. To me, that's poor coaching and not having the right personnel as far as defense goes in the San Francisco case, which if you look at their past 2 drafts, you took Jordan Love instead of a defensive. That's just out of my mind. And then this year, I think they took another defensive player, which is like, I mean, whatever. It still would have been cool to see them take a wide receiver for the first time in a decade, but it is what it is. But I think that he's gone. I really think that he's going to stick to the I'm not coming back here, because he seems like the type of dude where he holds grudges. Like, he's kind of smug. Once you get on his what list, like, he just seems like the one of the dudes that you're never leaving that list, man.
I'm just very interested in what team is very much willing to pay out.
Right, because he's still under contract for a long time. So
it's kind of like which team is willing to just empty their bank for A-Rod and.
Yeah, which Denver seems like the most, I guess, the best fit for him right now. But at the same time, it just really comes down to who wants him bad enough. Because
when's the last time Denver had a good quarterback?
Since old Peyton was there.
Exactly. So they very much need the quarterback department needed to patch down.
And the funny thing is, the Packers should not put up much of a fight in this scenario. It shouldn't be like, well, we want to keep him. It's not like Houston.
Yeah, I got low.
Exactly. Like, you took your guy who you thought you had. So if he wants to leave, let him walk. Especially since now he's had a year to sit and learn. So I don't see what the problem is there. So yeah, I'm expecting Green Bay to start fielding some trade offers sooner rather than later. I mean, we will see what happens, especially once training camp starts come like later this summer. Because I'm assuming that Rodgers probably just won't show up and he'll just start sitting out starting then, and then the Packers will be like, oh, I guess we should probably start looking at a new home.
Because if he's not playing, it stops wasting money to have his.
Yeah, there's no point. And you're hurting yourself, hurting him. Like, there's really no point. It's not like he's just some average player where you're paying him whatever. That's a huge cap hit for no reason at all to have just sitting around. So you also think that he's gone by this fall?
Yes, he's leaving at the moment. It is completely available to him to go.
Yeah. Should be
like I said, like you said, he's an all-star type player or Hall of Famer. So there's no shortage of teams that are willing to pick him up.
Yeah.
It just comes to money at the end of the day on who's willing to spend into the pocket for him.
Yeah, I'm assuming with the Packers that they would want to, if they are going to go ahead and trade him, keep him out of the NFC. Like, you do not want to have to run back into him unless it is in a Super Bowl. So another reason why the Broncos would make a bit more sense. For whatever reason, I'm hearing the Raiders.
My thing about running into him in your division again is that man is so lethal, and unfortunately playing with such trash ass offense that man, no matter if they go to another team in the division, he's gonna cut you all apart.
Right.
You
you can give him whatever. You can put him on the Jets. If he comes against y'all, he's going to tear you a new one.
Exactly. So I would hate to beef with A-Rod, get rid of him just for the comeback and rip you all apart. There's difference between the Bucks did to James Winston. They ain't worried about him coming back and ripping them apart.
They'd love to have him come back, actually. Please play against us.
Yeah, it's like, as a matter of fact, just make sure he stays within our
There is a difference there.
Exactly. A-Rod, please leave.
We need to send him to Siberia.
Exactly. Some sort of Russian league or bullshit. We're trained to Russia.
The sad part is it's such a stupid situation. Like, you couldn't at the bare minimum just kept him in the loop. Like, he didn't find out they were drafting Jordan Love until we all found out, like, right then and there. They didn't give him a heads up. And then this past year, Andy Dalton straight up said, yeah, the Bears let me know that they were going to trade up 10 spots and go get Justin Fields. He's never played a snap for the Bears. He just signed with them this offseason, and at least Chicago had the decency to let him know, like, hey, this is what we're doing. Like, we're going to go get this dude. Jimmy Garoppolo, apparently he knew that they were the 49ers were going to go draft Trey Lance. So it was just clear to him as well. And yet you have the MVP, arguably the best quarterback in the NFL. You couldn't keep him in the loop.
It's a phone call. It's a text.
Yeah.
An email. It's something.
Just, a little something. I mean, see, folks, putting on a different hat here. In relationships, folks, communication is key.
Look at the sports channel, life advice, relationship. What more can you ask of us?
If you are not speaking clearly with your significant other, sometimes it doesn't even matter what the response is. It's just the fact that you let them know ahead of time so that there's no surprises come, later down the road.
The last one I tell you, our relationship.
Right there, that's probably the extent of this relationship advice. But
if anything, he's the one to be telling you all about relationship.
And that's saying something.
If you want to know what not to do, you come talk to me and I'll let you know.
But if you're with someone that you're trying to keep around, the last thing you want to do is spring something up on them the moment of, because they're gonna remember that. And Aaron Rodgers right now, he's saying that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Was I don't even know exactly what it was, because this was a year after that. So
he was sitting there pondering it.
He was just fuming on it the whole time.
Sometimes it just takes a year.
Yeah, sometimes it's delayed reaction.
Exactly. I'm meant to be.
And on that, folks, we're going to kick it to our break. And We'll be back on the other side with our Instagram news for the week. We will be back.
See y'all.
It was James Harden that same night had a 38 points, 11 assists, 13 rebound triple-double against Minnesota. He's just out of his mind lately. He looks like the Houston James Harden, where he's just carrying that team that ever since Barnacle Boy and Mermaid Man are still out.
Oh my god.
You guys can be the judge of who's who. Lemon Pepper Lou. Man, after you picked up that nickname, you probably should have known that you weren't going to be around much longer.
Certain nicknames aren't meant to be good nicknames and mean anything well for you. King James, good nickname.
Right.
Lemon Pepper Lou? Probably not.
Yeah, no.
Lemon Pepper, please.
Let me get that. That was Atlanta.
Let me get a lemon pepper water, please.
Apparently, he got to Atlanta and he almost retired.
Something bad is a lot of like nothing here but empty space and strip clubs.
We thought you would love it here. Thought this would be your second home.
The strip club somewhere. This man has a top floor apartment complex above
Above a street.
above a strip club.
The NFL planning on allowing full stadiums this upcoming season.
COVID who?
Though it is still up to the state's discretion on the capacity, so it's still like, you know.
If you live in Florida, you know damn well that Florida's been letting it happen for
September what? Somebody on a YouTube comment said, I guess the Detroit Lions have been preparing for COVID for the last 20 years. Wait a minute. Y'all had a rule you couldn't allow people back in here?
Not betting money.
Exactly. What happened? What happened?
Why you yelling at me right now?
I'm sorry.
Look, I'm gonna tell you that's how New York people talk. They think that make them extra hard. I'll tell
Atlanta was
you,
up 28-3. I still put my 20.
Atlanta was up
28.
Everybody remember this. I
didn't
bet
take my
20
money.
and what Atlanta do? Blow the 28-3 lead.
What point can you look at Matt Ryan's
Yeah, you
face
got
and
money
be
from me
like,
that
yeah,
night,
you
too,
would've
sir.
won important, yeah.
Okay, what better meal?
A milk? Who got a milk?
No, not a meal.
MEAL meal food.
A meal. A meal.
Hey, take that,
Where y'all
Aggie,
from?
in night school.
If you made it to the NFL and you on the roster, you second string, I don't want to hear that.
Tell that to Chicago.
Wait.
But when you talking about Chicago, that's different.
Chicago got a Pop Warner budget.
Shout out to Ryan Pace for passing on Patrick Mahomes and drafting Mitchell.
He beat the defense with his brain. Don't you ever disrespect the Don't you ever.
made a bet off of this game that if the Steelers lose to Washington, I will eat one of my socks. If we lose to that bum ass team, I will eat one of my socks. I say Steelers beat Washington, so we blow their backs out to the backlash. I say 100-0 if I could say that score.
Give it to Snell again, and he did not get there, I don't think.
I said at some point we sit Roethlisberger out and Rudolph was out there throwing the ball around a couple times. I was giving damn. How much wins did he got? 3-4 wins for the season? The fact that man has the audacity to tell me that a team with 3 wins is gonna be a team that ain't got no losses yet.
Snap and hold are good, and Hopkins has got it.
White 1K in this bitch. You know what I'm saying?
How many questions are there? 8. All right, let's do this. It's gotta be 50%, man. Let's do this, boys.
I don't know shit about the Bucks.
Do we have any?
Ask me if I care.
Bucks trivia. Stats. Some players.
Oh, I don't know.
Yes, you
I'm
do.
not good at this stuff.
Who's the starting quarterback prior to Tom Brady?
Jameis Winston.
Oh, Jameis Winston.
Oh, come on.
Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston.
What year did the Bucks win their first Super Bowl?
That was a long time ago.
19. Dude.
You're on the right track with 2000s.
What was the question? Ask the question again.
2001.
2002. 2002.
January 2003. 2000. I'm gonna take a guess and say 3.
Which Bucks wide receiver led the team in receiving yards this season?
Mike Evans. Mike Evans.
Evans?
It's got to be Mike Evans.
Oh, that's easy. Mike Evans.
Evans had 1,000. I don't know how much Godwin had. I think it's Evans.
Evans.
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans.
Correct.
Let's go.
It was James Harden that same night.
Is all that you see. You don't need nobody else.
And we are back, folks. That's Shaquille O'Brien there with the soothing sounds.
Man.
After dark, bringing you back in. Hope y'all are having a good night.
5 years of Grammys, boy. Me in a weekend top 2.
Lord have mercy. This is the greatest show on planet Earth. I'm convinced.
I support the show 100%. I let y'all know that. I'll be going to work and tell people. I'll be watching it.
Folks, we got a little bit of news to get into before we hit our third topic of the week. Wanted to, of course, start off with this gem of a video. This is, in case you did not see this, THT on the Los Angeles Lakers, or Taylor Horton Tucker on the Lakers, hit the game-sealing layup. But that was, of course, after he threw up this circus shot. I can't put it up on the stream for the video viewers, but I'll even leave a link down in the audio description because it is just that much of a gem. This is one of the worst shots I may have ever seen in my life.
Stupid.
THT trying a shot that you wouldn't even see down at the Y. Man threw up a behind the back, no look layup.
For what?
Hard off the glass, by the way.
Darn.
What makes it even funnier was beforehand he was on the bench going, give me the ball. Come on, give me. I got it. Let me take this last shot.
And that's a shot that you fired. I was saying, if I was coach, I am dog this shit out 10 seconds after this. I don't care if you won the game or not. Come here. Sit down. Probably that. That's what it is.
That was probably the worst shot I've ever seen in my life. It probably takes the cake. I mean, Lord have mercy. What is going through your mind at the point where you jump in the air? And then somehow the basketball gods give him his own rebound. It's only right.
Let me try again.
Look how angry Joker is after the fact that he makes this shot.
He's upset that the fact that he actually caught that rebound. He should not have caught that rebound. Like, in his head, he knows if he would have got that rebound, the game would have been done. He would have ended it looking stupid. Well, unfortunately, allowed him to end the game.
Oh man, that's THT almost sold, but he got his own putback. Yep. So hey, that's another life lesson, folks. Sometimes you shoot that wild shot. Usually, you ain't getting that ball back, folks. You shoot that wild shot and that's it. But sometimes it lands right in front of the target, and you can just
up there like try again.
Right. He's rebounding for you.
He's like, something.
So all those dudes who are trying those full court shots and those DMs, and you're thinking, man, if I put up this shot, there's always that one chance. He may not have to go in on the first attempt, folks, because remember, it could bounce right back to you. You see, and now you've got an easy layup.
That's what I'm saying. Got to assist yourself sometimes.
If you're not helping yourself, who is?
Exactly. You gotta be your own advocate. You gotta go out there, ball, pass it off to yourself. Let them know.
Sometimes you can't do it all in one shot. Sometimes you just gotta move the ball a little further up the field and then run it in.
Exactly. It's all about the long game sometimes.
Right. Anyway.
Content. For every message of you send, there's always a background message.
Right. Lord have mercy. In other NBA news outside of THT's fucking god awful shot, Russell Westbrook went 14, 24, and 21 against Indiana the other night. Fourth time in his career he's averaged a triple-double for the whole season. 24 assists in one game. I believe he tied the record for most assists in a game at 24. Granted, a lot of those were pretty easy little bunny layups that he just handed off underneath the basket. But hey, it's not his fault that Indiana is god-awful on defense.
It's all about the stats at the end of it.
Right. That is just nuts. The fact that he's averaged a triple-double 4 times in his career is unbelievable.
It's, the most slept-on player I feel like there is out there. Unfortunately, because of the team that he's on, or people really.
If you were starting a team right now, would you pick him as your starting point guard?
Yes.
Oh, I'm still taking Steph. I'm sorry.
No.
Oh, you think Russell Westbrook is a better
Yes.
point
Yes.
guard?
An all around better point guard. Yes. I'm taking Russell.
How many rings does Russell Westbrook have?
How many rings does Steph have?
3.
I'm still taking.
Lord have mercy.
You cannot build a power.
Kevin Durant left this man because he said, "I can't win with you. I gotta go join somebody who can."
And then he left Steph again.
Well, I mean, it's Kevin Durant.
Yes.
But at the same time, since he's left, what has Russell Westbrook done?
Doesn't matter.
Nathan?
It makes a point invalid if you left Steph too.
I mean, a lot of people have left a lot of people. LeBron James left Dwayne Wade at one point.
It's hard to argue that Steph because you make a powerhouse team around Steph Curry.
But before that, though,
that man looks good on paper because that man had help.
Right, but before that, he had him. It was him, Draymond, and Clay.
Which is still a lot more than Westbrook has.
He had Kevin Durant, James Harden, Serge Ibaka.
You try to play with James Harden.
I mean, sure.
James Harden.
But he had Kevin Durant at one point.
James Harden's over there too busy getting the strip club booty to realize what he's doing in his life.
I cannot vouch for James Harden's personal decisions. Neither can the Brooklyn Nets. But all I'm saying is that there's just no way.
Now, overall numbers wise, Westbrook, I feel like does a lot better overall than Steph does in all departments.
There's just no.
Yes, we're gonna go factor in the fact that Steph is a lot better scorer than Westbrook is. Yes, we know that, but like I feel like overall, as a complete player, I give it to Westbrook.
Yeah, I mean he's obviously a hell of a lot more athletic. He's the most athletic player in the NBA, if you ask me. But the man, if a game is on the line, take a shot. The last person on my list is Russell Westbrook because that shit is hard off the glass every single time.
Thank you, Ryan.
What are you saying right now, Ryan Brown?
I'm sick.
is a beast. Yeah, he is a beast. That doesn't mean he's better than Steph Curry.
Yes. Yeah.
That is outrageous.
Steph Curry, best shooter? Yes. Best complete player? No.
Yes.
No.
Without a doubt.
I would not put Steph above Westbrook.
Without a doubt.
I would.
Better. Oh my God. How do you have 3 MVPs on your team? Well, 2 if you don't include yourself. 2 other MVPs on your team, and you still can't win a ring. What else do you need? If you're the common denominator in every problem, who's the problem? You tell me.
You maybe him as a bad team player to why he can't win rings?
In a bit, yes.
How many assists did he have for last game? How many assists?
He had a lot, yeah. But again, what else do you? What do you want him to do? Like, he's had all these assists, so where's the ring?
That's my issue. You can't blame him for the predicament that he's in. He's doing the best that a player like him in the situation can do.
He was on Houston too at one point.
Houston is hot garbage.
I'm sorry. If you play on this many teams,
I cannot blame Westbrook for the situation that he's in. I think he is a very complete and good player
who can't shoot to save his life, but you know.
How many players how many players have had average as many triple doubles as he had?
Ask him right now. Would you trade all these triple doubles for 1 ring? I guarantee you would say yes.
Because the thing about it is, we live in a sports world that we measure everything by rings and championships.
Because ain't nobody gonna remember you after all these triple doubles are great and all, but nobody's gonna remember you over all that.
I mean, people remember Allen Iverson, and that man got no ring to his name. People remember because he was a good player.
But how many triple doubles did he have? I don't remember. I have no idea. I remember the fact he doesn't have any championships.
It's just unfortunate that we forget that there's a lot of players who do really, really well overall, and just like it gets drowned out by the fact that they get stuck in bad predicaments that they couldn't win any rings out of.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. I don't blame on the Houston thing. That was a goddamn mess. But
let's say Shaq put up the same numbers but didn't get any rings out of it.
He wouldn't be Shaq that he is now.
Exactly, but the fact is his numbers get acknowledged even more because he has rings to back up his numbers.
Right. It's more meaningful. It's more impactful.
That's what I'm saying. Is like the numbers are still the numbers. So it's the fact that he should still hold the same weight regardless of the amount of rings he have backed up behind it. It's the fact that
for some, like AI, I give him that pass because if you look at his teams, he was on some just terrible teams. Russell Westbrook, I don't give him that pass because if you look at the long list of players he's played with, you're the problem. I'm sorry, but you're the problem. Clearly, that's the case. You're the common denominator. What else do you want me to? I can't make any more excuses for the guy.
People don't. How does a ring? Yeah, the man's still hot garbage. He has a ring.
He has 1 ring that he got off of the street. Found it.
Anybody can remember that? People can remember Dwight Howard has a ring though. He was on the Lakers when he had a ring.
Well,
Nobody's gonna look back and think the concept that
I don't think anybody's gonna remember Dwight Howard the champion. No one's gonna just like Jeremy Lin. Is anybody gonna remember Jeremy Lin the champion? No.
But people remember Jeremy Lin the era, and then they can think back in the ring. It's gonna be buffed history down the line. If you're like Jeremy Lin has a ring, it's like he has a ring.
Final thing on this: do you think Russell will win a championship before he retires?
Yes.
I say no.
I think he deserves. I think he shall win maybe 1 ring off of something.
If he does, it'll be in that type of situation where he's like pretty old and he's maybe coming off the bench and he just added on as like a afterthought.
I just feel unfortunate. I just feel bad because it's very unfortunate for him in the situation of not having any rings. He should have rings.
He should,
at this point.
without a doubt. He should.
Going off the stats, even the blindfold to take rings completely out of the equation, Russell Westbrook is God's wonderful player, God sent. But unfortunately,
I've heard somebody was saying like recently since he's hit this mark, he's 2nd best point guard in the history of the NBA, which is asinine. I don't know who started that, but you should be fired immediately. But anyway, I think if I had to guess, I don't think he will. Unfortunately, I think that he should, but unfortunately, his stock has definitely fallen this past few years. I mean, look at the team he's on right now. Jesus Christ, I don't see how he could go up to a contender from here. But
No, he could definitely be a contender from here from this point onward. It's just surrounding him with pieces that fit. Yes, he may be put on team with all-stars, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it shall benefit you.
Yeah, but the situation he's in now, he's in Washington. Like,
yeah, that's
he ain't. There's nothing's going on
He's
there.
got to leave Washington and find a different situation, like quick, before he starts falling off. Because God knows he can't maintain these numbers forever. But like, it just hurts me because I think he's a wonderful player, definitely one of the top point guards currently.
He is, without a doubt.
Without a doubt, there's very few people I can put like, who you beating? Who's beating Westbrook right now? Even then,
you like him over Kyrie Irving?
I prefer Kyrie over.
So would you take Kyrie over Steph?
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
I respect Steph as a player. I'm just not like a big overall Steph fan overall.
Right.
I respect him. I understand that he's the man got game. The guy got play style, and he amazing player. But like, I prefer other players and other play styles and just them overall. And I would choose him.
Russ over Dame Lillard.
Here's my thing. I'll put Westbrook as third, and Lillard as second, and Kyrie as first.
Mm-hmm.
And then Curry, I put like a good fourth.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. I mean, to me, it goes Steph 1, Dame 2, Kyrie 3. After that, it's kind of hard. Probably Russ next. I'd have to really think about it, but
the fact that you gotta think about where you put Russ.
I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. This is why I'd say that, but yeah, I'd have to really think about it. But anyway, this has been a whole segment on this. Supposed to talk about Tim Tebow being a tight end for the Jacksonville Jaguars, but I mean, in short order, folks, I'm sure you've already heard this, but he's working out for the Jaguars right now to try and be a tight end instead of a quarterback. The man's in his early 30s. What do you want us to say?
My thing is, because he knows the coach, one of the coaches that used to coach him, that's
right.
why he's getting a chance. And the fact that Jacksonville's a god-awful team, that's why he's getting a chance. Let it be like Tampa. I don't give a shit who you know. Tampa ain't picking your ass up. Like, he's the coach from college.
Yeah.
I don't care.
It's the fact that it's Jacksonville, just a few hours away from Gainesville, where he used to play. The fact that it's Urban Meyer, his old coach at Florida, and it's, again, the Jaguars, where you can go nowhere but up.
It helps that it's a garbage team. Any other good team, playoff contender team, be like, yeah, we don't care what you know him from, where you know him from. We ain't gonna take him. But like I said, if he gets picked up, it's only because the cards fell perfectly for him.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, still taking away an opportunity from
somebody else who's worked their ass off as a tight end probably all their life.
And who probably is so much better and different and more well-rounded than him, but it's going to lose to him because...
And Urban Meyer said, like yesterday, he likes Tebow. Like he would like to move ahead with Tebow, and which is unfortunate. On the herd today, I was watching, and they were talking, just hypothetically, what if Trevor Lawrence goes out there and loses 4 games in a row? Do you think that the Jacksonville diehards are screaming, "Start Tebow at quarterback"?
For what? There's a reason he doesn't play as quarterback now, because he's just god fucking awful at it. Yes, it's gonna be those people like, well, they got Tebow. I'm sure he still knows how to throw the ball. Yes, you can literally put anybody in as quarterback just about, and they can do something out there. You can't tell me nobody on the team can't throw a spiral to save play.
Exactly. If someone needs to make a pass here or there, they're probably good. But to consistently play, no, come on,
There's
man.
a reason his career when he started off as quarterback didn't last.
Yeah, they made a bet. Like, do you think that people, if that happens, will people actually start making that argument, or just no? Because I think no. I don't think that will even be a conversation.
No, they will not entertain that one bit. I'm sure there's still a lot of Jacksonville fans, a lot of people who are like, why are we even picking him up in general?
At all. Yeah, at all.
So it's like they're not going to even entertaining him, moving him.
Right. Since it's in Jacksonville, that's the only way a team could have gotten away with this. There's probably still a lot of people there who go, I like Tim. That's all. If we get Tim, that's all right because that's our guy.
This reason is great. Stick to being an announcer, teaching some sort of Bible school summer camp. I don't anything but play a professional football game. I don't generally care for you.
Give it up, Tim. Give it up. You had a good gig on ESPN, man. You should have stuck as that. You were good.
And my thing is, if you would have taken the advice and picked up a tight end position back like 5-6 years ago when people told you to do it,
maybe it could.
I would have believed because you had you had a little bit of time to practice, get in the snaps and practice. Now your old us can't do it. Not everybody can be Tom. Just because Tom out there performing old doesn't mean everybody can go out there and do it.
And you're 5 years removed from football? Imagine going out there now and getting hit out of nowhere. Like,
yes, the league of players a lot different breed of people 5 years ago than it is now.
And you're not the quarterback anymore, buddy. You're getting hit on every play.
Every play, somebody. Every year, there's gonna be somebody from 220 pounds to 300 pounds and be hitting you on every single
whopping
snap.
you.
And I make it if I'm on the other of the ball, I'm making a point.
Right, exactly. You don't think those guys know? All right, that's Tebow over there. I'm gonna make sure I give him a licking on this one.
Coach, I'm rearranging my lineup to make sure I put the biggest snap I have in front of you every single snap, and he is working you every snap. I made a point of that because I know my man's gonna run through you every fucking time.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I don't care how much training you get in.
You haven't played in 5 years, buddy.
Second, I got a 6-year veteran on the defensive line. I'm gonna line that man in front of you.
Yeah, and another thing I've heard is he could be used as like a gadget player, similar to how Taysom Hill is to the Saints. Mm-hmm. I could see that is a little more realistic than a tight end. Like, if anything, I could see that, but even that is a reach.
I honestly was just keeping the special teams. At most, if you put them on a team, special teams.
Yeah, if some weird trick play.
Some weird trick, trick play. You go out there, make a random block on special teams, whatever.
Right.
Because 90% of the time he's going as a touchback anyway in the back of the end zone or out of the end.
Right, some weird wildcat play or something. I don't know.
But at most special teams, I would not put you in actual defense or tight end where it matters.
I don't want you in the line of fire.
No, you're too much of a risk for me to.
Yeah. All right, moving on. We've spent a long segment there on the news. Next up, we are going to grade our team's draft picks. Draft was last Thursday, and both of our teams had an array of new players join the team. So we're going to go ahead and give both of our teams a grade of A through F on how we think they did in the draft. It's just overall. So this is not including free agency or any of that. This is just specifically the draft as a whole, how we think that they picked. Shaq, do you want to start with Patriots, Steelers? Does it matter?
I mean, if we need me to start off with Pittsburgh since you're on that screen, I can.
Yeah, we can start with Pittsburgh, number one. So to run people through, Pittsburgh picked Najee Harris was their first pick for running back out of Alabama. Their second pick was some of these last names, folks. Pat Freeman.
I like to see that on the back of the jersey.
Pat F. Tight end out of Penn State. Kendrick Green, guard out of Illinois, is pick number 87. Dan Moore Jr., offensive tackle out of Texas A&M, pick number 128. Buddy Johnson, linebacker out of Texas A&M, pick 140. Isaiah Loudermilk. Jesus. Defensive tackle out of Wisconsin, pick 156. Quincy Roche, linebacker out of Miami, pick 216. Trey Norwood, cornerback out of Oklahoma, pick number 245. And then Presley Harvin III, punter, Georgia Tech, pick number 254. Shaq, what's the grade that you gave your Pittsburgh Steelers?
A wonderful C plus.
Okay.
C. I definitely think they still did good. I enjoy the concept. They did get their running back, tight end. I like the fact they got a couple old linemen to protect old man Roethlisberger on the line. Definitely need that because that man cannot sacrifice any more hits or nothing at all. I just the only thing I hate about the concept is picking up the defense because their defense is pretty solid last year. I feel like. So I feel like we could have done without that heavy of a thing, and I don't understand. Let's pick a punter. But you know what? To each his own.
Who the fuck takes a punter in the draft?
Exactly. Who? He imagine sitting at home. This man's probably scrolling through TikTok. Out of someone, he's like,
He's his name get called.
I was like, oh shit. He's got like him and one other person in his house because it's unexpected to get picked up.
He doesn't even have an agent. He's just like, oh shit.
Oh shit. Just him and his mom just sitting at home. Yeah, I don't understand the concept of picking up a punter as part of the draft. So I give him a C plus because picking up defense hurts, especially when your defense was pretty good. Granted, y'all got beat the Browns. You got the Browns in the first round of the playoffs, but we don't come back to those bad memories. But and y'all picked up a punter, so that's what dragged y'all down to a C plus.
I give them a C minus. They did fill their one big need, which was at running back. They also improved their offensive line. They improved their defensive line. However, they waited until the last round to pick up a cornerback. I've never heard of Norwood here at Oklahoma. I think they should have used one of those earlier picks to go get a more probably noteworthy cornerback. Again, we'll see because obviously you never know with these guys, but I would imagine they should have used a earlier pick to get a better cornerback because that is something that they could use. But they also did not take a wide receiver at all, which I thought was kind of a miss there, but whatever. That's not that big of a knock. The big knock though was they didn't go get a quarterback. What the hell?
Remember, they did pick up a quarterback.
Yeah, they re-upped one.
I swear to God, this team lives to provoke its fans and prove everybody wrong in the wrong way.
I was really expecting like Sunday. I'm like, all right, Steelers, this is right the time. Go get a quarterback that probably nobody's ever heard of, which is fine. And let's just see if they can make something out of nothing down there in round 7-ish. And then they went ahead and took Norwood, cornerback, and then a punter.
My thing is, you guys got a Hall of Famer quarterback that's been in the league for ever.
Yeah.
You could pick up a no-name person and he could still teach that man to be
teach him something.
Be an average quarterback.
Right. Look at Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, and then a couple of years down the line, pick up a good bunch of receivers, and it makes that man look good. He's surrounded with talent. But unfortunately, they can pick up somebody off of Washington, and hopefully they become... don't understand this team. This team makes no fucking sense. We're going to pick up a punter as one of our draft pick choices, and then not use a free agency to pick up anybody at all.
But I agree wholeheartedly, though, with the strengthening of strength. Like, you guys did need a cornerback. Outside of that, weren't too many big defensive needs, although you took a few defensive players and was like, you couldn't have made one of those a quarterback. Just one.
I'd rather you throw in any other offensive player. We could have picked up another lineman. It's like, sure, whatever. Pick a receiver.
Yeah.
It's like any other offensive player would have been just as content with, but we didn't need the extra defensive help. Like, because our defense was pretty solid last year. It wasn't our defense that lost us the playoffs.
I think it was, you guys did lose a few people on defense in free agency, and this was them kind of overreacting, being like, if our defense goes when we got nothing, so we got to make sure that we keep the defense.
We had one of our linemen retire. Roethlisberger has 1 foot out the door almost. It's like we were suffering just as much as offense, if not more. Because
exactly.
we needed help already on offense, and the fact that we starting to lose people on offense even hurt us even more. So,
yes, had they taken a quarterback, I'd have given a B minus. If they would have taken a quarterback and a wide receiver, I'd probably have bumped them up to an A. But C minus for me for Pittsburgh. Moving on to my New England Patriots. Give you guys a rundown here. So, of course, we took good old Mac Jones with the first pick, or 15th pick. The number 38 pick, we took Christian Barmore from Alabama. Number 96, we took Ronnie Perkins, defensive end at Oklahoma. Number 120, we took Ramondre Stevenson. Running back at Oklahoma. I'll leave any extra comments out of that. Number 177, we took Cameron McGrone, linebacker out of Michigan. Number 188, Joshua Bledsoe, safety out of Missouri. Number 197, William Sherman, tackle out of Colorado. And then last pick, number 242, Trey Nixon, receiver from UCF. My grade for my team, I gave them a B+. Had some double check on that one. We had a great draft weekend. I was actually very happy to see the players that we picked up. Of course, we took Mac Jones. If you guys want to go back to that 4-hour stream and search for my reaction to the initial pick, not too happy on it, but I had a week to think about it. Cam is probably going to start. Mac Jones will probably back up for at least the first year and then go from there. He'll probably get some playing time here and there, depending on. But but he fell. We were able to take advantage of that. We didn't have to give up anything extra to go get him. So he will be our presumed quarterback of the future. The real surprise, though, was the fact that we got Christian Barmore out of Alabama. The fact that he fell to that number 38 pick. God bless. Basically, we got 2 first-round picks somehow, some way. So that was outstanding. Barmore, surprisingly, was one of my favorite players coming into that draft. Dude is a monster. 6'5", 310 pounds. Can get after any college quarterback. We'll see by the NFL. But he can get after the quarterback. He can stop the run. He's huge and can move. I'm extremely happy to have him on our team. Hopefully he transitions well. And again, coming out of Alabama, Bill Belichick, Alabama players, he does his thing with them. He knows what he's doing. We got 2 Alabama players with our first 2 picks. Can't wish for anything more than that. But yeah, outside of that, we improved the rest of our defense at every single level, literally at every single level. Got a new running back. Never heard of him, but we'll see. The only reason I did not just give us a straight up A is the fact that we waited until our last pick to go get a wide receiver. We always draft wide receivers terribly, historically terribly. We've lost out on A.J. Brown. We've lost out on DK Metcalf. We've lost out on, I want to say Justin Jefferson, but we were probably close to getting him. We've lost out on every single possible wide receiver that we could get in the last few years. Trey Nixon, I pray that you're going to be good. You're coming out of UCF. I don't know. I hope so, but why did we wait this long to go take a freaking wide receiver? I don't know, but that's always an area we need help at. And once again, here we are. So hopefully it turns out for the best. But anyway, give us a B+, Shaq.
Actually, give y'all A- on it. I feel like y'all approached it the right way of we're gonna show a little bit. Even though y'all picked up a quarterback.
We did.
Y'all approached it the right way of maybe if you improve our defense, stop teams from scoring on us, and give Cam Newton less pressure to keep going out there and scoring all the time, giving him time to make a mistake, learn defenses, and go out there and do well. I like the defensive approach and make sure y'all more solid and keeping teams low scoring against y'all. And it helps him look good if he doesn't have to go out there and perform every single drive against other teams.
Yeah, we've always had a good defense. Certain years we've had great defenses. Last year was a weird year. A lot of our defense sat out, but most of those guys coming back now, and we're just improving on top of that. I cannot wait to see all of our team play, but the defense especially. I feel like we're going to be a bunch of just monsters out there, absolute beasts on the defensive side of the ball.
It's hard because everyone's got that expectation of old New England with Tom Brady on their head. Everyone's got to change their thought process. It's no longer that New England anymore.
Right. I mean, Stephon Gilmore looks like he'll be staying. So we got Gilmore. We got Hightower coming back. We picked up Christian Barmore. We got Van Noy back from Miami. We got some monsters. We're about to be legit. I'm expecting top 3 defense at least. We should be number 1, but I'm expecting top 3 defense at a bare minimum. I am getting my hopes up, but damn it, it's for a good cause.
I mean, I was fully expecting my team to be top 3 to 5 defenses also.
Right, correct.
So.
Without a doubt. Moving on. If you do not know, we have an audio version of the show. So if you listen to podcasts on Spotify, Apple Music, Stitcher Radio, AM Radio, FM Radio, I don't know about the last two, probably not. But if you listen to podcasts, click on the first link down in the video description below, and that will take you to Anchor. And then from there, you can choose whatever podcast platform you use in order to listen to the show, so you can save a little bit of battery life on your phone. Don't have something that's keeping the screen on the entire time, and you can just listen to the show. But the video version is without a doubt the best experience. So,
I mean, who else would you rather look at it?
Exactly. Who else would you rather get relationship advice from?
Exactly. I tell you, just listen to the girls, and that's all you need. Did you actually learn anything? Probably not, but
absolutely not.
You listen to a couple words here and there. You recite them every time they ask you if you listen, and that's good. Yeah, you said something about the garbage, right?
Hey, garbage. There's garbage in there.
Yep.
Probably should take it out. Take it.
You want me to take it out? Could do it. See, there you go. Stop one argument.
Right there, you just stop there. No problem, folks.
Exactly. All because he tuned in to every other word. So,
think what you'll be doing next week.
Exactly.
Lord have mercy.
Next week, goddamn. Give me all money advice,
We used to do that during the football season, but here we are.
If you're clearly still listening to the show, it's probably because of money advice.
Moving on to the last subject of the week here. That is, of course, the Ride or Die in 5. This is where we give you our NBA picks for the next few days going into next week in less than 5 minutes. Our record for the season right now, I'm at 50-34. It hasn't changed since 2 weeks ago because we didn't pick anybody last week. I'm at 50-34. Shaq is at 48-36. So we're just 2 games apart. So starting out, Clippers at Lakers tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. Shaq, things are getting tight here. We're down to like the last 7-8 games of the regular season. I believe come next week, that will be our last episode of the NBA regular season. So, Clippers at Lakers. Who you got tomorrow night?
I'm only gonna pick the Lakers because I think they need to win this game. Not because I don't think because they overperform. I think willpower is gonna drive them to overperform, and they need to solidify. They're gonna want to stay out of that next seed down and not to even worry about where they fall and like things like that. So they need to win this game. So like I said, Lakers.
I'm taking the Clippers in this one. Bron will not be playing tomorrow night. The Lakers are holding on by a literal thread right now. The Clippers are in much better shape. So with all that being said, I'm not going to overthink it. I'm not going to do anything crazy. I'm just going to... Clippers right now are the better, more healthy team. I'm going to pick the Clippers. Keep it simple. So we will see what happens with that. Knicks at Suns Friday night, 10 p.m. The Knicks have only lost 1 game in about the last month or so, which is nuts to think about it. I never thought those words would ever leave my mouth. But that one loss came to this exact team. The Knicks, for whatever reason, or that's just the one team they can't seem to beat right now is the Suns, and I think that outcome is going to repeat itself. So I'm picking again the Suns to beat them on Friday night.
I was also going to beat the Suns. The Suns are an elite team in and of itself, so I don't see them losing right now, especially since they already clapped them up the last few times. So That is it.
Brooklyn at Denver Saturday night, 10 o'clock. The Nets have lost back-to-back games against the Bucks, which is actually pretty funny. I don't know, the Nets losing is the funniest thing to me. But I think they will get back on track by beating Denver on Saturday night and take that. I think they'll beat Dallas tomorrow night, and then they'll use Dallas as kind of a stepping stone to keep that momentum going into this game. And I think they will win in Denver late Saturday night. I think it'll be a close game. It will be a tough fought, kind of back and forth. But I think KD will come up big and end up closing it out in the fourth quarter. So I think the Nets win this narrowly in Denver.
Yes, I see KD do pull this out for the Brooklyn, and they definitely do win this game. Granted, he probably be out for another 2 weeks after.
He'll tear his hamstring on the way.
Like, oh, my pinky! I tore my pinky. And he'll be out for like 2 weeks after that. But you know what? That's still winning it because this man can only go about 1 or 2 games sports and he needs to be out. And then
he played in a back-to-back, folks. He's on thin ice right now.
It's like you wearing his body thin. A little piece of plaster that his knees made out of, just wearing out thin.
Yeah. Last one, we got our two teams, Miami at Boston at Sunday at 1:00. This is the first game of a back-to-back. We played Sunday afternoon and then Tuesday night. Both games are in Boston. Huge games right now because right now we're flip-flopping between the 6 and 7 seed. So these games will definitely play a big role in determining who's the 6 and who's the 7. And of course, you want to be in that 6 seed. You do not want to drop to the 7 and be in the play-in situation. So I think that we're going to split these games. For whatever reason, my Celtics have, this year speaking, have not played well on Sunday afternoon games. We just get clapped up. It doesn't matter if it's a bad team, good team, okay team, high school team. We just cannot seem to play well on Sunday afternoons. So I'm expecting us to lose this game and then win on Tuesday nights because that's again, I don't understand it. But, yeah, I think we're going to lose on Sunday. Shaq.
I say we claim them both. We win the back-to-back games. And we feed off momentum on Sunday. So here we go. Clap to clap. Cheek to cheek. We ready. Playing both games.
Yeah. I was looking at your guys' schedule, and I'll go ahead and pull it up here. I almost clicked the wrong one, sent you guys right into a break. Thank God I did not do that. Yeah, I was looking at your guys' schedule. Ours is not terribly bad to finish out the rest of the season. You guys have a interest. Lord have mercy. Jesus Christ.
You like that?
Anyway, you guys play the Timberwolves on Friday night, and of course the two back-to-back games against us. And you guys play Philly on Thursday, the Bucks, and then Detroit is your last game of the year. So it should be very interesting. This last final push.
I say we lose 2 of those games, and we could possibly win on most of them.
Right, Shaq is predicting they'll beat Boston twice, Detroit, and the Timberwolves. I believe is the only game.
Timberwolves. But we lose against the Bucks and the Sixers, and
yeah, right now we're tied for the 6th seed right now. So this last week is going to be very, very interesting.
Yes, I hope we actually, if we play to what I decide, we should definitely playing that seed.
Yeah,
and maybe even the 5th seed if we really play out of our mind.
Yeah, I think I saw the Hawks schedule too. They've got a pretty easy one though from here on out. So. Yeah, they've got Indiana, Washington, Orlando.
They got easy schedule.
They shouldn't drop any further, but anything can happen, folks. Right now is that time. You just simply cannot lose to the teams that you should be beating. Like the below 500 teams cannot lose to them. Like Indiana, Washington, Orlando, like Detroit. Jesus, how the fuck do you only win 19 games in a whole year? God, that's embarrassing.
Oh my God, what are you not even trying? Look at the Cavs. Imagine that. Without LeBron, 21 wins for the season. Them and Magic, all these other teams. I'll say
on an 8-game losing streak.
Ridiculous. Can you imagine trying to motivate your team on an 8-game losing streak? You used to sit in the locker room like,
all right, come on, guys. The scary part about all of this, right here, the Washington Wizards are in a play-in situation. So as long as they've heated up these past couple weeks, you can thank Russell Westbrook for that. God damn it. But it is a possibility if the Wizards stay where they're at, they will be in a play-in situation. I would not want to see them with one game to send somebody to the playoffs. I would not want to see the Wizards because you never know what that team right
Can you
now.
imagine the Wizards making the playoffs? Can you imagine Wizards making a decent run in the playoffs, first of all?
That is why I am praying. Please just finish in the 6th seed, Boston. Please don't even mess around with this stupid ass tournament because it's only one game.
And all I'm saying is, besides my Heat, if the Wizards make it into the playoffs,
Shaq's going to be the resident Washington Wizards
yes,
fan.
I will be the Washington Wizards fan for the sake of the Heat and Washington Wizards fan. For the sake of, I gotta continue promoting. I can't be a hypocrite and say Westbrook.
That's why Brian was rooting for Russell Westbrook. It's Washington Wizards. I just remembered that.
So I'm not a Washington fan, but I'm a Westbrook fan, so I gotta.
It's only right.
Yes.
Yeah, should be by next episode. It's gonna be right in the thick of it. So we'll see what happens. Shaq, anything else you want to mention before we get up out of here?
Continue to listen, commitment, and dedication. With all those things, everything shall work out. Apply it to every life.
Well said. That's going to do it for us here, folks. We'll see you all next Wednesday once the Boston Celtics are the number 3 seed in the East.
Every other team would have to lose the rest of the
yeah, that'll do it. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening, watching. Happy Cinco de Mayo, folks. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll see you all next week.
See y'all. Ooh, God.
The outro is right there. See ya.